Hello and welcome back to the channel. Here we go again. The cycle under Gino Pozzo and Scott Duxbury continues. And should it be a surprise to us? Of course it shouldn't. We've seen this time and time again at Watford Football Club. We hire Paolo Pezzolano, a foreign disciplinarian manager, the promotion specialist, someone the club branded as the man to get us back to the Premier League. He lasted 5 months in charge, 10 games managed before he left after losing the dressing room, if reports are to be believed. Javi Gracia then returns, a legend at Watford, the man who took us to the Emirates FA Cup final in 2019. And rather than being sacked, Javi chose to resign off his own accord, citing a lack of motivation for the role moving forward. And like we did with Tom Cleverley and like we did with Rob Edwards, we now land on a young, up-and-coming, promising manager, Edward Still. Funnily enough, the brother of Will Still, who has been linked with the job for many years now. And looking at the bookmakers' odds over the past few days, this name certainly wasn't on that list. He last managed in a full-time role all the way back in 2023. Since then, he's been the assistant manager at Anderlecht in Belgium and is leaving that role to join us today and become our new head coach. Where do we go from here? What does Edward Still offer to Watford moving forward? That is what we will discuss now. Okay, is this the right appointment moving forward? Am I happy as a Watford fan with Edward Still in charge of the Golden Boys? And to be truthfully honest with you, I don't know. I don't have the answer to that question today. Only time will tell. But my first impressions researching him are very, very good. He certainly seems like a better fit for this group of players and the attributes they have as individuals than both Javi Gracia and Paolo Pezzolano. He primarily plays a 4-2-3-1 formation and did so at his previous clubs. He likes to be on the front foot, high press, attacking football, stretching pitches and utilising our wide players, which is good for the squad we have. We need to use more of Kwadwo Bar, Nestri Irankunda, Geordie Shatfatatse, Othmane Mama. We need to use these players to good effect, and we haven't done so with our previous appointments. So on paper, it all sounds very good and very pleasing, but we have gone from one extreme to the other. Paolo Pezzolano was a disciplinarian manager. He said himself via the club media that he wasn't here to make friends with anyone, and that ultimately, in my opinion, led to his downfall. Javi Gracia was a slightly different character. He was a happy, bubbly Spaniard, really pleased to be back for his second spell. But as fans, we all knew that he didn't utilise his wide players. Rather than wingers, he liked to use wide midfielders. Kayembe and Tom Ince were must-starts on Javi Gracia's team sheet, and that ultimately probably led to his downfall and the poor form towards the end of his tenure before the resignation. And here we've stumbled across a different man, a young, up-and-coming, promising manager. It feels like we're back with Tom Cleverley or Rob Edwards once again. It's a similar situation where we're putting our faith in someone who has very little experience, but his ideas on the pitch are good. And to be honest with you, I'm not opposed to that strategy. It could work out really, really well. As I said, if he does a Michael Carrick at Manchester United and win his first 4 or 5 games on the bounce, I'm sure the fans will be really, really behind him. But if he does the opposite and really struggles in his first few matches of English football, then quite rightly, we will be questioning the appointment of an inexperienced manager once again. So Watford find themselves in a bit of a catch-22 situation here. The only way out of this for Gino Pozzo is Premier League promotion. We know his long-term aim and goal is to find investment or sell the club, and he will only do that by reaching the pinnacle of English football. His valuation of Watford is very, very high, and no one is willing to pay that in the Championship. That is why, in my opinion, they have done this final roll of the dice today. Who should be taking responsibility for our current predicament? Well, clearly the buck falls with Gino Pozzo once again. I'm struggling to find the energy now to even get angry about our current situation. That is how lethargic and down I feel as a Watford fan. But I would urge as well Scott Duxbury to come out and speak to us frankly as supporters. He was very happy after Christmas and into the new year to issue a statement saying how pleased they were with Javi and the direction moving forward. But when the going gets tough at Watford, Scott Duxbury hides in the shadows, away from the spotlight, away from the eyes of the viewing public. And considering his salary, I don't think that's right. So if Scott Duxbury is watching, or if anyone from the club is watching today, I would urge you to very quickly, as soon as possible, issue some sort of statement, a letter to the fans, or even arrange another at your place event to explain our long-term goal and strategy moving forward. Where do they want Watford to be in 6 months? Where do they want us to be in 1 year, 3 years, 5 years? We need something on the record so we can hold them accountable moving forward. Our current situation isn't good enough. We are a laughing stock, not only in English football, but in world football. We're here time and time again. And I really hope for everyone's sake that this appointment is a success. And I really hope from the bottom of my heart that Edward Steele can find real good form here at Watford and go on to have a really good career in management. So I'll leave it there. Thank you for watching my ramble once again. I've done a few of these in recent weeks, but I feel it needs to be said, and I have the responsibility on a large platform to make my feelings clear. And if I can even make 0.1% of change to this club, then I'm doing a good thing. So thanks for watching. I really appreciate your time. Get your reaction to this appointment in the comment section down below. At the time of recording, I'm yet to find out actually his length of contract, albeit it doesn't matter too much. I doubt he'll be brought in on an interim basis until the end of the season. I think Javi Gracia, when he come back, signed on a 1.5 year contract. So I think the same might happen with Ed Steele here today. Here we go again. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.